Hey, so got a couple of questions of people asking me how I did this render and lighting, textures and everything. So I'll be explaining this. Um, I did these renders with Octane a few months ago. All these details and everything was in Octane. And of course, post-processing was in Photoshop, so and right now I am not going to use Octane, I'll be using Arnold as my main engine, and we will see how it works. So here I have my scene, and very basic. Even the lighting is in there, so very basic materials, just like white, and I just assigned them to each one of them. For now, what we're going to do is start with texturing this scene, and we're going to use a standard HDRI, something like this. Increase a bit and good to go. Okay. So right now looks like hell. Okay, we're going to start with this part right here. Maybe let me just change this, right? Okay, this is a little better. Yeah. Anyways, this part right here is going to be like metallic with flakes, like this sort of effect. To achieve this, we're going to need a noise and cell noise. So I think it's this material right here. Let me just check. Yep. Okay. So basically right now what we're going to do is scale this scene. Yeah, it's in 4K. No, it's in 8K right now. And I'm going to see how we're dealing with this part. So right now we will start with a flakes or cell noise, whatever you want. I do both anyway, so this node like acts as a flakes material, like has like this flakes effects directly integrated in it. So if you put like 001 and full density, this is what we're going to get. And right now this is what you're having, but we need to control it somehow, so let's use a normal map and reduce that to something like 0.1. There's something with Arnold. As you can see here, the scale says 0, but it's there. Basically everything that goes after 000 is represented as 0 in here. So if I put like 0.0001, it will show as 0, but it's there. So I can add another 0. 5. Yeah. This changed it, as you can see. Okay, so we need it to be smaller right now. Yep, something like this, and a little bit more rough. Just don't worry about anything like lighting on everything. Right now we will just focus on this material. Okay, so this is the first way of doing it. You can do it that way, but there's also another way of doing this. It's looking good, so we'll move this. And let's add the cell noise. Set it to cell. Scale it to like 1000, probably more. 10,000 maybe it's good, not sure. Controlled by a ramp, set to custom type, and this ramp needs to be controlled by a bump 2D. Okay, this is giving us a little bit of that effect, but it's not as accurate as this one. This one, as you can see, it looks way better, so. Because this one basically controls the normals too, so yeah. However, with this one, right here, you have more control over your roughness too, so we put like a range. And put it in the... Let me explain something first. So, in the roughness, we have a like a bar that goes from 0 to 1, right? So, if for example we want these colors, which are like super random, let me show you. These like they have like black, gray, and white, full white, and whatever. So if you want to control this like super precisely, you can go like you can go like, I want my reference to be in the range of 0.3 to a maximum of 0.4 or 0.45, and that's where the range node comes in. And basically you can set like the minimum 0.3 and the maximum 0.45, and you can put this as roughness of the specular. And right now you would have like a range of colors here that would go from 0.3 to 0.45, which is good when you want like exact control over your roughness. Okay, so this is a way, and you can also change the cell noise, so like whirly, and maybe this would help you too. So for this one you need to take the bump a little low. Maybe a negative point. Yeah, but this is giving us like a different feeling. So yeah, these are ways of doing it, but the best way would be to simply have the flakes controlled by the normal. Let me try something. Maybe if you put this one here, maybe it would work. Nope, it's not super accurate, so never mind. looks good, but needs to be smaller yet. Let me check something. Yeah, so basically what we need to do right now is, so instead of like going crazy with these zeros and having like 0.00001 just to have this effect, we can simply go to the export scale and be very careful with this. If you have animations, it can kill everything. And basically right now we have something like this. So if we simply switch to meters, it would look something like this. So this helps with the 0.00 whatever scaling. You can even go like millimeters and have like 1 here or 0.1, but that's for your personal preference. I don't mind having 3 zeros. So 2 zeros, sorry. This looks good for me. For reference, I want something like 0.3, no, 0.4. Okay. This light is kind of bothering me. Yes, right now we can't get rid of it, so let's have one subdivision, 2. Okay, so let's jump into this one right here, and the material for it is this. It's like the pads. I did import the texture because I was lazy to just import and re-import again. So since I'm using ACES, what you need to do for these textures, for example, this one is a, let me check again. I guess I'm going to use it as a bump, so this one should be utility row and should be good to go. Okay, this is looking good from the start, but we need probably to fix a few things. Maybe 0.1, not sure. Be careful with the bump value, because taking it like having like too big may result in like your mesh receiving no reflection. I'm not sure about this, but maybe some sheen. Nope, this would simply remove the details. In this case, and generally, we don't need like to have the color of the specular at 100%. You always need it to be like between 60 and 75. Almost always. This is realistic values anyways, so something like 63 maybe. Should do as good. Yeah. Gets rid of that extra reflections. Can also use displacement to have like an effect here and not have it like perfect, but I wouldn't recommend it too much. Especially it will screw up. Okay. So we need to reduce it here too. Yeah, something like this, but I'm like almost sure it won't work as good as we expected. Nope. Guess not. Maybe if we reverse, you can use the complement node for this to revert colors. But I'm almost sure it would look bad. Yeah, as I said, so we're not having displacement for now. Just remove this. But from this angle it's looking great. Okay, so let's go for this one right now, this part right here. And for this one, it's this material. So yeah, this part right here is very reflective, so we're going to give it the lowest value in roughness, but the lowest realistic one, so it's 0.05. Don't go 0, that would be very unrealistic. As you can see right here, when I have it 0.05 we have this small reflection, but if I go 0 we have nothing, and that's unrealistic. Okay, this is super clean. If you can even go like 0.1 if you want to, and this won't be like of much big difference, but yeah, okay. Let me check. I guess this one is for this part. Yep, it is. So as I said, you need to make sure the color space is correct, and this is a diffuse map, I guess. So for this one you would need utility solid texture. This is the opacity, so it's the raw. This one is the normal map. So it needs to be raw too. Okay, perfect. Now we can plug it right here. Let's see, you coordinates 8, 8, and this one is 8. Okay. You can line them. Have a look. this is looking good, but I don't like the color, so just remove it. Something like 80. Yeah, that's good. All right. So right now we're doing this part right here. It has like the two letters, right and left, R and L. I guess it's this one. Yep. So this one, I won't be using it as a diffuse. It's a bump map. Not sure what's happening. Well, I guess I'll have to use it as a color too, apparently. But I'm going to modify it, because this color is too dark for me. So, color correct. And give it a small exposure push. Okay, this looks good. And we're almost finished with this part. Perfect. The last part is this one. And for this one, I really don't know which is it. So I guess it's the, okay. Let's go for something like 85. And nope, 90. Yep, this is looking good. Okay. I've never had this problem before. Let me check. Okay. Good. You ruined me. I don't know why it had this problem. I'm still having it. Maybe if I reverse. I really have no idea. Okay, this seems to be the problem. Oh well, that looks fixed. yeah, it's fixed and it still looks good. Perfect. Let's go to 100% scale. So far, this is what we have. Quick part I wanted to mention is that you can also, instead of using this, you can use the tool they have, well, controller they have, and it's the normal randomize. So basically, if you have it like high, this would spread everywhere and it will give like this rough effect. But if you have it like low, something like 0.05 maybe. Okay, so this is giving us the same effect, but with one less node. That's it. That's what I wanted to mention. So let's delete these. And for my personal preference, I use this one and continue with default value. Okay, see you in the lighting video. Peace.